Hello and welcome to another garbage funeral. It's been a little while since we've had one of these. I've gotten a lot better at throwing out stuff when I ought to, either just by doing it before I build up some level of unhealthy sedimentality, or just getting better at ripping the band aid off and tossing it, even if it pains me a little bit. I've also just sort of expanded the space I have to work with such that I didn't have to throw out stuff I didn't want to for quite a while. But that philosophy hit sort of a breaking point recently. I had a box of old shoes, a cardboard box of old shoes, shoved inside of my closet, and I felt like it was time to reorganize that closet. I bought some new totes. I was loading stuff into the new totes, and then I filled up one of them just with old shoes that I will never and really can never wear again. And while I was doing that, taking up all this precious closet real estate and tote volumetric real estate with these old shoes, I thought, what the hell am I doing? And I thought, let's throw these out. But I felt a intense pang of loss and sadness when I considered throwing them out, and I realized that quickly I would come to an impasse. Hence, it is time to have another garbage funeral. I love shoes. I think shoes are super neat. I think fashion-wise, they represent such an interesting component of an outfit. Even when they are plain, they accentuate other things through the absence of their attention. I like all sorts of different styles of shoes. I think if there's any kind of genre of fashion that I feel like I've kept up with and made myself aware of trends and brands and stuff, it's within shoes. For a while, I really aspired to buy expensive pairs of shoes that I really like the designs of and stuff. I did buy myself a pair of Gucci Aces, the low top leather Gucci sneakers. We're not throwing those out today. Don't worry about that. But as much as I love shoes in terms of fashion, I love them even more in terms of utility. I like to really respect the things that I make use of throughout the day, the objects that I rely on. And shoes are among the most trustworthy. You wear them day in, day out. Maybe you rotate through a couple pairs and you have certain things for certain occasions, but compared to like every other aspect of your wardrobe, socks, underwear, t-shirt, that probably get, one use per laundry cycle and are among a cast of dozens, shoes occupy a long role. They're a recurring character in the sitcom of your outfit. And they're the ones that provide so much functionality. They're keeping you safe. They're keeping you warm. They're keeping you dry. They're keeping you comfortable. And I feel like shoes are something where you really do have to invest not just money, but time and effort into picking pairs that you genuinely enjoy wearing, that you don't just tolerate, but that bring you some sort of joy each and every time, that bring you the comfort you need, that fit all the categories you need. And hence, when I get shoes I like, I wear the shit out of them. And I feel a little bad when I do, because I reduce them to pretty miserable states before I'm ready to move on to the next pair. It feels like I'm maybe mistreating them. I obviously could be more considerate and, not tromp through things as much, or give them time to rest and rotate more, or clean them more often, or repair them sooner. But I don't. Instead, I just wear the hell out of them until they can be worn no more. And that's something that I think contributes to the guilt of me throwing away these shoes, because I can't frickin' donate them. That's definitely out of the question. As you'll see, they are in no state to be worn by anyone. And so they have to just kind of flop into the trash unceremoniously, or unceremoniously had I not made this video. We're gonna make a ceremony out of it. That's the whole point. So let's dive in. I think that's enough preamble. We'll try to do these in like roughly chronological order, I think, if I can remember. Yeah, I think these are probably the first of these that I wore. This isn't like all the shoes I've had throughout my entire life, obviously, but kind of like all the ones I've worn since I last did such a purge. Okay, so these are a collaboration between Converse All-Stars and Tyler the Creator. They're in a lovely, or they were in a lovely pink and blue color scheme. Trans rights. Now they are in like a dirt and other shade of dirt color scheme. The bottom had this awesome flower design on the sole, which of course has been worn to smithereens in accordance with my weight distribution and walking gait. You can see the heel is totally obliterated. Here's my finger poking through the heel there. I wore these things long past their due, but I love them. They were nice and light and comfy. They felt like I was cool, and we're gonna see a few cases of this. These are fake. I did not buy the real edition of this collaborative shoe. That would have cost orders of magnitude more, I'm sure, if I had the opportunity to buy it at all. These are hard to come by. But this is the AliExpress special. A friend of mine who was super into bootleg fashion helped me out, hooked me up with these. And yeah, I don't know, it's kind of best of both worlds, because if I was to pay that much money for a shoe, or like when I did pay a lot of money for a shoe, like my Gucci Aces, I don't want to wear them. I don't want to wear them anywhere. I just want to have them sit up on the shelf like an objet d'art. Whereas the fake shoes, I can really enjoy them. I can take them everywhere. I can, again, wear them down to this state. So yeah, good stuff. I still love Tyler the Creator music. His album this year was great. Talked about it on my best albums list. I still love this design. You can see here on the tongue, Golf Lafleur. I don't know if he's done any other like fashion collabs like this recently. I should look into it, because I think his design sensibilities are really cool. But RIP, they have had their day in the sun. Now they will have their day in the dump. Okay, next, I think we have this pair of Stan Smiths. I really like Stan Smiths just as a shoe, the design of them. I could probably wear Stan Smiths my whole life. Were it not for the fact that, for some reason, almost every pair of them I have wears out right here in the heel, again and again and again. Here you can see there's like an internal lattice to give it some structure, but then the rubber in and amidst it has totally decayed. There's a rock stuck in it. The rest of the shoe actually held up pretty okay. It's definitely worn down a bit, but the heel makes it kind of a non-starter. This one looks better, but in fact on the inside is just as bad. It's just as worn down. These ones weren't so bad though. These ones I managed to keep. Oh, this is two different shoes. That's why. That's why they're so different. Yeah, here's the other one. Yeah, it's even worse. Yeah, you can see right through it if I look correctly. It's nonsense. How did I let it get this bad? How did I wear this day in, day out with my heel on the street? How did I walk through rain and puddles and shit with these? Who knows? Who can say? But I guess I did it because I love these shoes. I love the combo of your classic all-white Stan Smith. Keep buying all-white shoes, even though I get them hella dirty, hella fast. And on the back, just a nice kind of pale, chalky pink with the cursive embroidered Stan Smith. This was a collaboration with... It says somewhere here. What's her name? This was like a crossover Stan Smith, like a special design, I think. At any rate, I really like these. When I was first transitioning and coming out, this was one of the first pairs I bought because I was still a little apprehensive to wear stuff that was too feminine. I felt self-conscious about that, but this was a nice happy medium, just the pink accents on a design I already really liked. I found out that when I was a little baby, my mom had bought me a tiny little baby pair of Stan Smiths. Like this big. And unbeknownst to me, I had recreated that buying habit in my adult life as I started really enjoying the Stan Smith designs and crossovers and stuff. I'd probably buy more Stan Smiths. But these days I am 100% Team Hoka. At some point, I still like, the fashion of sneakers, and I'm still interested in sneakers and everything. But I am now really prioritizing comfort very highly over any sort of fashion concerns or brand concerns or anything like that. So it's Hoka's all the way. It's like walking on a cloud. So this might be my last ever pair of Stan Smiths. Who knows? Maybe in the future I'll be more expansive and have my Hokas for big walks, but then also some sneakers I can wear on a more regular basis that are like just for, I don't know, cool times or whatever that don't involve extensive walking. So those might be Stan Smiths. But great shoe, great shoe. This is another Adidas shoe. These are the Noras. I really like this design. The color scheme especially. You can see they've got sort of a subdued shade of yellow, blue, and green on the sides. It reminds me of the SNES controller. These guys held up okay, but the inside heel is torn to smithereens. Again, it's like bad wearing habits, I think, made this run down faster than it ought to. But I enjoyed these. They're a little more like designed than the Stan Smiths. They have more elements, a little more chunky, and this sort of like fabricking creates like a lot of kind of complexity to the overall image of the shoe. The silhouette is a little chunkier too. So it was kind of like a nice change of pace for me. I think to kind of break free of just like total pure minimalism. As I said, there's a lot of different things in shoes I like, and I liked to explore them with different purchases, different kind of eras of wearing. So yeah, good stuff. RIP, gone too soon. Definitely held up a lot better than most of the other shoes we're talking about. Oh, this one of the pair did a little worse. There's a total breach in the heel. Why does this happen? Does this happen to everybody? Do other people just change their shoes sooner than I do? I don't know, man. I'm just wearing the hell out of these things. Next we have... Yeah, these guys. What are these? Stacy Adams. Stacy Adams shoes. I think I bought these on sale. And basically I just liked that they had a very, very simple silhouette. Extremely minimal design, just all white. Sole, extremely minimal as well. Basically I was like, I don't want to spend $300 on Common Projects. As much as I love the design of Common Projects, I can't afford that. And if I could afford that, I wouldn't want to wear them outside. I would be too scared. So what's something similar that I can get for a fraction of the cost? And I got these, and they're pretty nice, and they held up pretty well. I wore these like a lot. I had a long era where this was kind of the default go-to. You can see in the back the heel totally worn down here. Which again, like, is everybody standing like me? Am I standing weird? Am I putting too much weight on my heels? Is it just because I'm big and I weigh a lot? I wore this shit out quicker than most people would. Or I don't know, maybe this is just the common lifespan of a shoe. And we just don't talk about old shoes that much. We just don't talk about things when they're at the limits of recognizability, when they're right before the garbage bin. That's when we look away. That's when we look to the replacement. This is a level of wornness that people are ashamed to wear, to be seen in. It has associations that people don't like. And not to get too like philosophically high and mighty or whatever, but like I think we should give respect and attention to things at the end of their natural usefulness. You know? I don't think it's healthy to be like me and to wear them past all recognition out of like laziness around buying new shoes and maybe some sort of autistic thing about not wanting to change them. But I do think that we are too quick to divert our attention when things are breaking, when things are getting worn, when things are getting musty and old. I think it's the wrong kind of attitude. I think throughout all of humans' history with tools and objects and possessions, it's only been very, very recently within, the modern generations that we started treating things as truly disposable. That I'm not taking these shits to the cobbler. I'm not, getting them resold. I'm not reupholstering the leather or whatever. The attitude has now become toss it and let's go. And I think, the way that things are made these days, that's kind of just like the unfortunate reality of it. But we don't need to handle this reality, handle this sort of logistical necessity of living in a disposable culture, and have that necessarily coincide with an attitude of disposability, an attitude of not really respecting things, of kind of just tossing them sight unseen, of replacing them and not really even acknowledging within ourselves that they've been replaced. Because I think that shit is not good for us mentally. It removes a feeling of like persistence in our memory. It removes like an actual attachment we can have with these physical objects. And I think it's alienating. It alienates us from like the reality of these shoes, from what they actually comprise of, what labor was necessary for them to exist. Like these were pretty cheap shoes. I'm not gonna lie. I spent maybe $70 on them. But they're well made in their own way. A lot of work went into the design and manufacture of these shoes, in the manufacture of this particular pair of shoes. And I don't like the idea of just of disrespecting that, of moving past that without acknowledging it. Goodbye. You were good shoes. All right, last we have a special treat. And before I show you these, I want you to pause, go to StockX, and search for Ben & Jerry's Nike Dunks, okay? Now look at that price tag and take a big drink of coffee, and then look what I did to them. Oh, I think the other one's even worse. Is it? Yeah. What did I do? Now these are fake. These are definitely fake. I did not pay anywhere near that much money, nor did I win the release lottery, nor did I do anything besides get these off my friend who bought them as fakes, and then they didn't fit him very well, so I took them. At first, I didn't really wear these much because they are like an extremely maximal, kind of garish, cartoonish, almost parodious design with the faux cow hide, which actually has like a texture and stuff even on these fakes, which is crazy. The only thing that's like makes it very obviously a fake is on the inside of the tongue. They like didn't get a good enough picture to understand what the inside said. So it's just kind of like similar looking garbled text. Otherwise, these are actually like extremely accurate fakes to the extent that on several occasions when I was wearing these, people came up to me and wanted to take pictures because they were so excited to see it in the wild. And then after I wore them for quite a while, and I beat the shit out of them, and I was wearing them out in the snow and stuff when I ought to be wearing my boots, but whatever. People would express deep concern on several occasions. People unprompted said, "What are you doing wearing those outside?" And I went, "They're fixed. They're fixed. Don't worry. Don't worry." I still feel a little ashamed though because, as I said, they're very nicely made fakes. All of these complex details, the insane color palettes, the clouds in the back. Everything was recreated so perfectly, with extreme expertise, precision, knowledge, and not an insubstantial material cost. But even more than kind of appreciating it, I had a lot of fun wearing these. I didn't think I would. It's very outside of my wheelhouse. As I said, I trend more towards minimal stuff, but I got used to wearing them, and I found it really fun and it kind of opened my eyes on just what a breadth of designs I could enjoy. So feeling very grateful for this pair, feeling very grateful for the bootleggers in China that made this all possible. I feel like I just won a Grammy. But yeah, this was a memorable era for me wearing these shoes. RIP. Man, I'm almost like, surely I can keep these. But God, they're such in bad shape right now. It really feels like just having a little thing of garbage in my house. Look, I can stick my whole finger in here. This whole front section ripped out. Yeah. Yeah, we just gotta say goodbye. If I start making exceptions, I can be making exceptions all day. And now it's nice and empty and can be filled up with more stuff. Who knows if this is stuff I really need or stuff I just can't bring myself to get rid of. That is just my life. But right now, as I said, I'm rocking the Hokas. I love the Hokas. Hashtag Team Hoka. This is my official unpaid unsponsored endorsement of Hoka shoes. They are so comfortable. You have no idea if you haven't tried what they call maxi sole or whatever. You have no idea how much more comfortable these are. It's to the extent now that when I wear non-Hoka shoes, it feels like I'm like barefoot. Like it's like a whole other level. But yeah, so maybe in a couple years we'll have Hoka funeral, and I throw out like 5 pairs of Hokas. Okay, that's all. Thank you for being there with me for that. I'm gonna go throw out these shoes and pack up this tote. See ya.